Kuttun.
All the football players. Come. Chiefs. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What's the name of the school that you were in? RMK School.
So we are live.
Good morning. I think we're live. And say hi to your friends and parents and grandparents and all the people of the world who might be watching. Today, I believe, is Monday?
Yes.
August?
Yes.
August 22nd?
Yes.
You know what day that is? Assembly Day. Somebody said it. Very good. Tell me. Madras Day. Right? I know you're all up here to talk about football. You weren't ready for a quiz about Madras Day, are you? Okay, this week we'll be doing lots of activities, and I think even last week we did lots of activities celebrating the heritage of Madras or Chennai, which is always something that we love to do at KC High. But before we get to that, let's talk about some of our accomplishments in the sport of football, starting with the under-10s. I see in yellow, under-10 boys, correct? Can you raise your hand or your trophies? Great. In red, I believe I see the under-12 boys, is that correct? Can you raise your hands or your trophies? And in yellow also, I see the under-14 girls, is that correct?
Yes.
Great. And you all seem to be carrying gold medals. No silver?
All the fun.
No bronze? Okay, why don't we start, Samir, with you and tell me about the under-10s and where you played and what you accomplished. You can pass the microphone to a friend if you like. Yeah?
We played at RMK Secondary School and we won first place on penalties.
On penalties, in the championship game, you won on penalties? And what was the score in penalties?
It was 3-2.
3-2.
2-1, sorry.
2-1. Who scored the penalties?
Chetan and Advait.
And who was the goalkeeper?
Advait.
Advait, did you make a save? Two saves, huh?
He was goalie for the penalties. Was.
Ah, you switched goalkeepers for the penalties.
Yeah.
That's an interesting tactic. Okay, tell me about the tournament. Was it fun? Did you win? How many games did you win before the final?
2.
Okay. And do you feel like you played your best, or can you improve?
We could definitely improve.
Okay, that's good. What do you need to improve on?
Goalkeeper.
Well, considering you switched goalkeepers before the penalty shootout, it sounds like maybe you do need a little bit more consistency in the goalkeeping position. Okay, congratulations. All of you. How about the under-12 boys? How was your tournament?
So we also won first place, and in the finals, the first half no one scored, and also in the second half. And then it went up to the penalties, and then the first shot I saved. Same thing happened. Penalties, everyone saved.
And in the total 3 penalties for each team, and in the final penalty the opponent team scored, and after that we scored. So it was a draw in penalties as well. So it went to a coin toss.
Coin toss?
Yes.
The tournament was decided by a coin toss?
Yes. And
Aren't you supposed to just keep taking penalties
Yes.
until one team misses and the other
I
team
know.
makes it? Yeah?
yeah, it's confusing, but they.
So you've
chose
won a
coin
gold
toss.
medal by a coin toss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was the other team?
It's
RMK.
Velamal High School.
RMK itself, huh?
No, Velamal High School.
Oh, Velamal High School. Okay.
Not RMK.
Well, they must be heartbroken
Yeah.
to lose the gold medal on a coin toss.
Under 15 lost the semifinals
Also
in
the
a coin
same
toss as
way?
well.
So I have a question. Can't we organize such a tournament at KC High where we have a different
Yes.
set of rules
Yeah.
and where the gold medal is not determined by a coin toss?
Yes.
Okay, so please talk with your coaches and try to organize the next tournament at KC High. I'm sure your parents would be very pleased to see it here, where we could open the cafeteria and have cold drinks and everything like that, okay? Great, congratulations for your gold medal by coin toss.
Thank you.
And I hope you're not going to tell me penalties and a coin toss. You actually won the game? Yeah. All right, tell us. Yes. Who's going to speak?
So the
Yeah.
first match was a walkover. We
Okay.
actually won semi-finals 2-0. We played against Bhavans,
Uh-huh.
and the finals we played against SRM, and
Uh-huh.
we won.
You won 1-0. Who scored the goal? Very good. And who was the goalkeeper? Fantastic. You had shutouts right through. No goals conceded in the entire tournament? Wow, that's good defense.
Right? Do you feel like you played really well and you guys have achieved your potential, or do you think you could improve?
We could improve.
And how can you improve?
Mostly passing.
Passing,
I think there
okay.
should be more team coordination.
Uh-huh. More team coordination. Did you enjoy the tournament?
Stamina, probably.
Do you think it'd be nice to have a tournament here at KC High?
Yes, sure.
Okay, let's work on that, okay? Well, congratulations to the under 14 girls, the under 12 boys, and the under 10 boys for your gold medals, your championship trophies, your continued success, and it's great to hear that you recognize that you can continue to improve and that you're analyzing your performances and thinking about how to improve. We hope to see the next tournament right here at KC High. Okay? Great. Thank you.
Thank
you.
And I believe we have Shakti. Can you give the microphone to Shakti? Hi, Shakti. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you've been swimming again?
Yes.
And where was the tournament or the competition?
So this was Senior State Aquatic Championship. So
Uh-huh.
this was at Velachery.
Okay, you can look at the, yeah, tell
This
us.
was Aquatic Complex Velachery.
Uh-huh.
And so unlike Junior State, this is women's and men's. So people up to whatever age can participate.
Open, even 20-year-olds.
Yes.
Wow. And how did you do?
I did fantastic. I improved all my timings and I got 6 golds and 2 bronzes.
Wow.
So out of these medals, 5 were own events. So 3 golds, 2 bronzes, and 3 were relay medals for my team, which I'm wearing the jersey.
Okay, so you went with the Aces team?
Yes.
Yeah. And who else is swimming with you on that team?
I had 3 other girls. My sister was in
Uh-huh.
all the relays with me.
Uh-huh.
I had I don't think we'll know them, but
Right.
there was a girl called Madhu.
Uh-huh.
She's 18, and another girl called Pranavi, a girl called Rakshana. So
Wow.
they switched it around sometimes.
And how old are they?
Rakshana is 18,
Uh-huh.
and Pranavi is 1 year older than me, 13.
Right. So you are in grade 7 now or grade 8?
Grade 7,
Grade 7?
Yes.
How old are you?
12.
12. And you're swimming with 17 and 18-year-olds.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive, okay?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And tell me about your favorite event and your best time.
Oh, okay. So I don't have a favorite event.
Uh-huh.
I love all the events I do because I pick them out carefully. I'm a long distance swimmer,
Uh-huh.
and that's 1500, 800, 400, 200 freestyle, and 200 medley.
Wow.
So that's 1 lap of each stroke.
Right.
And I improved my timing so much in the 800 and the 1500. I don't know if I can explain like the range on what's good and what's bad, but even in 200, 200 was my best race because I was swimming with people who had gone to Khelo India.
Uh-huh.
And I got the bronze, but my timing improved majorly from last year.
From what to what?
225 to 221.
So you took 4 seconds off your personal
Yes.
best, right?
Yeah, and for 200 meter freestyle, that's a huge drop because it's a shorter event.
Uh-huh.
And I think the highlight of this entire thing was Aces winning the overall championships because they took away one of our major swimmers
Uh-huh.
and who was fastest breaststroker in India.
Uh-huh.
But we still managed to show the state that we were able to do it, and that was amazing.
Congratulations, Shakti. Can you just help me with one thing? What does it take to take 4 seconds off your personal best? What do you think is the most important factor in reducing your personal best by 4 seconds?
I think there are two things that are very
Uh-huh.
important. Number one, practice.
Uh-huh.
We work day in, day out, 2 sessions, 3 hours, 6 hours a day, and we cover close to 60 kilometers a week. And that's all just to swim barely 2 minutes in a race. And I think that's very important for our confidence, and second of all, mentally. If you're swimming with somebody who's so much older than you, you shouldn't think you've lost the race before you're on the block itself. And I think that's very important.
Great. And I think the theme for our learning this semester is deliberate practice.
Yes.
So I'm sure that when you're practicing, you're very deliberate about what you're practicing. You're not just jumping in the pool and swimming, but you actually have a plan, you're getting coaching, you're getting instruction, you're getting feedback. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. So my coach always says consciousness is very important because every turn, every underwater kick, every pull, that's so important so that when you go to the race, you'll be able to do it without thinking about it.
Great. Thank you so much, Shakti. Very well said. I like your coach's word, conscious practice. Very good. Thank you and congratulations and keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Shakti. Fantastic. Please give her a round of applause. All right. Thanks, Shakti. I think we have some students talking about Madras Week next. Is that right? Let's see. Why don't I start with, am I missing someone? Vaishnavi, come. We're going to have to be quick here, but please tell me what you did for your field trip on, I think you went to study biodiversity, or is that correct? You went to the fishing village?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the visit to the fishing village and how it relates to Madras Week.
We visited Kovalam, the fishing community there.
Uh-huh.
We went last Wednesday, and we learned so much essentially about how much their life is different from ours. So considering things like how they have to set off to work at 3 a.m. in the morning, how their whole day goes for a toss if they don't get the catch, and stuff like that. But I think what we learned that was the most important and things that we should actually reflect on is how some bad decisions that we make actually impact their life in a much more bigger sense. So for example, pollution and waste that is not treated and let out into the ocean, and how much that affects the fishing population, the fish population actually, and how well that impacts their life. So for example, I rewind to say about 10 to 15 years back, the river was completely unpolluted, and the fishermen actually used to get all their catch from the river, and the water was really clear. But now it is estimated that nearly 50% of the marine trash is plastic. So all this plastic and untreated waste is really impacting the fishing community. And considering that they are actually part of the primary sector, in a way, indirectly, it all impacts us in the end. So I think if we don't do anything to change that, if we ignore it, we continue to brush it under the rug, it is going to hit back on us later on.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi. And I think it's so important what you say about we need to be conscious of how we behave because it impacts the entire environment. Shreyadita and Harshita and whoever else is coming up, stay here, Vaishnavi, please, because I think, come, Mahika. Rahul, come. Can each of you explain a little bit about your field trip and what you've learned about Madras or Chennai, and also what you're learning about how we are interacting with the entire community and the entire ecosystem, as Vaishnavi just said. Go ahead, Ma.
Okay, so for our field visit, we went to the Hiranandani.
So you're from grade
community.
6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So we went to the Hiranandani community to see the Muthakadu river and the Taramkaram pond that was restored. Because of our negative human intervention by polluting and putting all our sewage waste there, it was once 30 feet deep and now it's only 2 feet because of all the waste.
The
and
lake.
silt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all piled up. So the community, they came together and they did this process called the eco-restoration. And they first did a whole cleanse of the pond and then they desilted it. Silt is basically all those grains that come from rain. So they desilted it and then they planted like 100+ trees surrounding the lake, and they made this road for people to walk and enjoy the scenery. And for the pond, it was also pretty deep, and now it's not that deep either. So it was fully polluted because people would come and just throw plastic. So now they desilted it, like I said, for the Muthakadu, and then they did a whole cleanse, planted trees, flowers, and now it's beautiful. And then they did this fence so people wouldn't come and throw more plastic into it.
Thank you so much. Rahul, you were went on a field trip for grade 7. Can you explain, please?
Right. So for our field trip, we went to the Adyar Eco Park. And the whole reason why we went to the Adyar Eco Park was because we were learning about ecosystems. So when we went to the Adyar Eco Park, we saw a lot of species of animals, plants, and we heard that there was over 70 species of plants. And the Adyar Park is split into 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. The whole point of Adyar is for restoring the Adyar River. So we got to see how restored it was from now and then maybe 10 years back. And after this was all done, we had to do a project showing the restoration of the river in a form of a chart. So overall, I found this experience really fun, and I can't wait to do more field trips with KCI.
Great, thank you so much. Sounds like eco-restoration is kind of a theme. Go ahead, Shreya Deta, tell us about grade 8.
Yes, so grade 8, since we are celebrating the Madras Week, and also because in social science we've been learning about exploration and colonization, we basically visited 3 sites in Madras that has been heavily influenced by colonizers. So our first one was Our Lady of Light Church, which is where the colonization practically began. The Portuguese came, they brought in Franciscan missionaries with them to convert Roman Catholics, and also unfortunately they were lost at sea. So the legend says that they started praying to Mother Mary and she appeared as a light, and when they found the landmark Mars, they finally made a church there to thank her. So I personally think in Chennai, it is sort of like a symbol of hope and light to people. But the contradictory thing about this is once the Portuguese had come, they were forcefully converting the Syrian Christians to Roman Catholics. So after that, we went to St. Thomas Apostle, which is where the British era and the Portuguese era sort of met up. Initially, it was a shrine built by the Syrian Christians to honor St. Thomas. But then the Portuguese came and they wanted to influence people with their culture. So they decided to build a Roman Catholic church. And then unfortunately later on the Britishers came again, and then they followed Portuguese steps, and then they rebuilt the same thing into a cathedral. So basically it shows how these various colonizers come. They, after removing a part of our identity, they try to bring in their cultures into the monuments through the architecture. And then our last one was St. George Fort, which is basically focused primarily on the British era. They came in, they made the East India Company, they had a trading body as well. There we focused on 2 major spots, the museum, which is where we saw different relics, the uniforms, coins, and porcelain. And there was also one particular part that I really loved about it was the bomb shot that was there. It was collected since the time during World War II when the Japanese had attacked Madras. And the other one was St. Mary's Church, which is basically like the first church built by the English in Madras, which is Anglican. It's architecture.
Wow, fascinating. So interesting how rich and multicultural and complex the history and the culture of Chennai is, right?
Yes.
Harshita, tell us about your trip for biodiversity in grade 9.
Yeah, so, is this on? Yes, okay. So last Thursday, grade 9 also went to the Hiranandani complex, and we did explore the same water body behind it. So our aim was to kind of figure out how industrialization of the city kind of affects the biodiversity of the place. So we looked at how like the Hiranandani complex and how that place being built over there kind of affected the biodiversity of the water and the things that and the animals that, grow and live there. So as part of our GP project, we went there and we were split into many groups, and we were sent to like explore the bank of that river. And we had to go and kind of like scavenge for biodiversity. So we were given like this sheet, had a bingo card on it, and with like lots of different animals and species that we were supposed to look for. Like you could take the crimson rose butterfly, or basically a common kingfisher as well. So they were populous in that area before, but now due to industrialization, they have been displaced, and they're much fewer in numbers over there. So that's what we were trying to find. I'm not sure any of us actually saw the crimson rose. It's a very rare species of butterfly. We also learned a lot about the flora and the fauna over there, including like the certain like plants which tend to be poisonous, and how they were like invasive species and they're not from India itself. So they're kind of like migrant species that kind of moved in, grew in that place, and how the animals around it have adapted to involve the poisonous plants in the ecosystem as well. So I think it was a good learning experience.
Thanks a lot, Harshita. Congratulations to all of you, and I hope you continue to enjoy and learn during Madras Week. And thanks so much for sharing. It was great to hear about all the different projects and all the cultural and historical and ecological and biological learning that you're doing, okay? Have a great week ahead, everybody. All right, see you. Bye-bye. Thanks.